Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of Vanderpump Rules Season 8, Episode 12, All Dogs Go to Heaven. So I am committed to continuing with the recaps during everything that's going on in the world right now. I think it's important that our brains rest from the constant barrage of stuff that the news is throwing at us. Doesn't mean we shouldn't all be paying attention to the news around us. It's just that I feel like laughter is an essential business. I'm kind of kidding, but I'm kind of not. In any case, it feels a little bit tone deaf for me to just continue on laughing at these crazy people from Bravo like nothing is happening around us. So for that reason, I am going to try to provide stories of positivity or words of encouragement. But because I said I was going to be a reprieve from all of that, it's going to be at the very end of this video. So if you are here just for the recap and zero talk about what's going on in the world, I totally understand. I hear you. Let's get started with the recap. All right, guys. We start off with Jackson Brittany coming home and he's carrying her over the threshold and he puts her down and she goes, husband and wife. I have been practicing my cleansing breaths lately, and they're coming in handy right now. Tom Schwartz shows up at Tom Tom, and he tells Max that he's mourning the loss of his lizard dog, and he's going to have a little memorial service at the Mondrian. Combo pool party memorial service. Okay, Tom Schwartz asks Max, so any trouble here? Anything go down? I'm pretty sure, Max, that your boss is asking you how things were at the bar when he was in Kentucky. Max's response is, well, I broke up with Dayna. I can't imagine if my boss went on vacation and left me in charge of the restaurant, the bar, the store, the business, whatever, left me in charge of the business and came back and asked, how was everything while I was gone? Any troubles? I can't imagine saying, well, I broke up with my boyfriend, so there was some trouble. I just have to remember this is just a TV show because now over at Sir, Dayna is telling Tom and Ariana about the breakup as well. She said, yeah, I went and talked to him, but, I just think it's DNR right now, and yeah. I would like to point out again that Tom Sandaval is behind the bar at Sir. I've not yet figured that one out. Okay, back at Tom Tom. Max tells Schwartz that he would like to ban Danica from coming into Tom Tom. And Schwartz is like, whoa, has she been causing trouble here? And he goes, yeah, she's been disrespectful and she talks way too much. Okay, but then he does tell her that she was disrespectful to Richardson. Then we see Richardson, it says Tom Tom manager, I guess another manager because I thought that Max was the manager at Tom Tom. And Richardson has been around for a long time. If you guys remember, Richardson used to work at Sir and I think he was a manager there. So Schwartz is kind of like, oh, okay. Danica needs a hobby. When we first saw her, like episode 1, she was on probation. And it was because she got into it with her boyfriend who was a bartender at Sir because he suggested a 3-way or something like that, I think. I guess maybe she broke up with him because now she's just in everybody else's business. All she cares about, all she lives for is other people's relationships. And not in a positive way. I think she wants to break everybody up. Now we cut to Danica talking to Raquel saying, I heard something about me being rude to Richardson, but then it just got kind of swept under the rug and nobody ever said anything about it again. Well, okay, but were you rude to him? And if so, why? I'd like to know what that was all about. Max is still complaining about Danica to Tom Schwartz, and we get the flashback of Danica when she went out to lunch with Ariana and Scheana and said, Max is like the most thirstiest person ever. And he told my friends that he owned like a little part of Tom Tom. Okay. So in Max's confessional, he's like, that is absolutely not true. And then she brought up the thing about Adriana. Okay, he's not denying the thing about Adriana, though. He just doesn't like that she brought it up. And really, it was not her place to bring it up. Adriana did bring it up to Dayna later, but Danica didn't have to do that. So he said that, you know, this latest thing, like trying to break up me and Dayna, was the last straw with her. Okay, we get... This is funny, you guys. You know how sometimes when we see the flashbacks that Bravo does it in black and white? So this time it was the scene where Danica, Dayna, and Raquel were all sitting at that coffee shop or little restaurant or whatever. Except for, like, I don't know why Bravo did this, but it's so funny to me. When they show the side of the table that Dayna and Danica are in, the only thing in color is the ketchup bottle that's like bright red. And then when they show Raquel, who is on the other side of the table, it's all in black and white except the bow in her hair, bright red. It just made me smile. Okay, so at Tom Schwartz says to Max, she's a disruption and I fully stand by your decision. Back to Danica talking to Raquel. Now Raquel shares with Danica. Again, why does anybody share things with Danica? But she shares with Danica that Lala reached out to her. And Danica's like, what? Really? Tell me more, tell me more. So she said, I just want to express to her that it wasn't okay the way she treated me last time. Blink, blink. We see a little flashback to all the times that Lala has called Raquel dumb. You big dummy! Not nice. But I will just say that at the time she was saying those things, Raquel was being incredibly dumb. Standing by her man when her man was doing some really, really unacceptable things. So yeah, she kind of earned a few of those dummies. But I do think she's coming at this meeting the best possible way she can. Raquel said that, you know, I'm going to listen to her. And I do think, I don't expect that we're going to end up being friends or buddy-buddy, but I think it will give me some closure. We're back to Jax and Brittany. I don't know, guys. I can barely tolerate the scenes with them. Now they've got, like, their whole outside patio is filled with boxes that are wedding gifts that are just pouring in from all over. And they're like, let's open them. And Jax goes, as much as I spent on this wedding, and there better be some good stuff in here. It's so icky. The one semi-bright spot was that when Jax was talking about how nervous he was about saying his vows that he wrote, he said, I actually put down PowerPoints. And then in his confessional, you hear the producer say, so what's the difference between PowerPoints and bullet points? Because, of course, Jax got them confused. So they do this whole, like, funny graphic. And when it gets to the bullet points, he goes, and then those are my PowerPoints. Okay, next we are at the Mondrian, and you hear this, like, church organ music. But all we're seeing are, like, these hot chicks in bikinis and stuff. Oh, God, you guys, it's Dog's memorial service / pool party. Okay, so Stassi and Beau get there, and as they're walking up, Stassi's like, I don't want to laugh, but, like, I don't know. And Beau goes, well, if he's upset about it. So they get up to Schwartz, and she's like, I'm sorry for your loss. But she's got kind of a smile on her face. And then when Tom and Ariana get there, Ariana's like, oh, no. She sees the sign that says dog 2019 to 2019, and that just gets her going with the giggles. And, you know, Schwartz, I don't know. I don't know how much of this. I'm sure he feels bad, but I think he's putting on a little bit of a show too. Apparently that kind of lizard, and I am not sure what kind it is, but apparently they have a 20-year lifespan, 15, 20 years, and he's only had him for a few weeks. So he's like, I kind of mapped out our whole life together. Well, I mean, the next few weeks anyway. So, you know, he says stuff like that. And then he said that he knew the dog was wrestling with depression. I think he knows what he's doing when he says stuff like that. I'm not saying the lizard wasn't depressed, just the idea that the lizard was wrestling with it is maybe a little hard to believe. So the guys all pour one out for dog. They're drinking Miller High Life, and Schwartz goes, "Oh, God, it's warm." Sandaval goes, "It's not just warm, it's hot." Schwartz, you know who liked it hot? Dog. 115 to 120 degrees for basking. It's sweet and silly. Guys, okay, then Schwartz gives a eulogy, and we see in memoriam, Dog Schwartz, 2019 to 2019. Meanwhile, Jax and Brittany went to Lisa's house because she had a wedding gift for them. When they get there, Lisa offers them some rosé, and Brittany declines. And Lisa goes, "Oh." And she goes, no, I'm positive. And she goes, "You're positive?" And she goes, no. In Brittany's confessional, she said, "Jax and I want to have kids right away. I'm not pregnant yet. We used to do the spray and pray, and now we just don't pray." I feel like the worst thing that happened to Brittany was marrying Jax. I mean, in terms of how I feel about her. And maybe not even necessarily Jax, just her getting married, because it's, I feel like she's going to try and milk now her marriage for the first whole year. It won't be, "I'm getting married." It'll be, "I just got married." Right? Ay. Oh, God. Lisa points out to Brittany that, she goes, "You'll see this when you watch your wedding video. But this is you walking down the aisle." And it's true. Her mouth was like this the entire time. I mean, she was thrilled and happy. Then she gives them her gift, and it's a Tiffany tea set. Okay, guys, it's beautiful. I mean, it's cool. It's kind of modern. All we see is the teapot and the lid. And I just think, like, the shape of it, the shape of the handle is sort of straight, like right angles. It feels like a little bit modern, and it's white and Tiffany blue. So it's pretty cool. Jax is like, "Oh, thank you so much." Oh, God, you know Jax was hoping for, I don't know, a $10,000 check or something. He doesn't care about that. I'm sure he thinks that was a big waste, that the gift from Lisa Vanderpump was a tea set. Back to the pool party / memorial. Danica now goes up to Max and said, "So what's this I hear? You're trying to 86 me from my own sister restaurant?" Oh my God, her sister restaurant. And then he's like, "Why are you getting in my business? You're not Dayna's friend. You treated her like the first week she worked there." "Well, I care about my employees." Yeah. She's like, "When were you going to even tell me that I couldn't go into Tom Tom?" And he goes, I was just going to wait for you to come in and tell you then." She goes, "Oh, okay. So that's how big of an asshole you are. You were going to wait for me to come in and then kick me out." And he's like, "Yeah. I don't have a dog in this fight. May he rest in peace. I don't care about either of these people. And the fact that they're at odds with each other, I don't know. I just hope it's entertaining." Okay, so now the two Toms are talking. Schwartz is like, "Danica's energy, man. She's got to take it down a notch." Sandaval's like, "Yeah, she's aggressive." Schwartz said that Max told him a little bit about what was going on. And then Max comes up. Both of the Toms put their hands on his shoulders, and they're like, "Dude, are you okay?" Max, "I'm okay. I'm just like, I'm achy. I'm rattled." Sandaval does not know the story. Even Schwartz said that he explained a little bit to me. So now they are getting the full story. Sandaval says, "Why was Danica yelling at you?" And he said, "Because I 86'd her from Tom Tom." And Schwartz said, "That's why she was yelling at you? I thought it was over the Dayna stuff." Max, "Yeah. The Dayna stuff is why I 86'd her." Sandaval goes, no. And Schwartz goes, well, no, I mean, there was much more to it than that, right? Sandaval's like, that better not be the reason. And he goes, no, and there were other things. It's not just personal. Sandaval, let me ask you, percentage-wise, how much was personal? Max, 90%. Sandaval, dude, that's fucked up, man. You can't do that. Schwartz goes, I wish you would have told me that to start with because I was on your side about 86ing her. Now Max says that he's just so overwhelmed and busy that he doesn't need this extra drama. Now Sandaval has to play dad again because Schwartz can't even be the bad guy. So Sandaval said, listen, you have to keep your personal life separate from the business stuff. You cannot do that again. He's like, okay, I understand. Now we are over by Stassi, Katie, and Scheana. And Scheana said, so obviously Kristen isn't here. And she asked me to see her. And I know she's gonna ask about today. Scheana tells them that because she was staying in the same room with Kristen the whole time they were in Kentucky, she was getting her side of the story. So she wants to know if there's anything they want her to relay to Kristen. Stassi right away says, tell her this. This isn't about Carter. It started off that way like a year ago. Yes, is it annoying that you keep going back and forth with this guy and then crying on our shoulder and all that? Yes, it is. But it's now about the fact that she and I can't be honest with each other. I walk around on eggshells around her. I can't do that anymore. I can't have a relationship with her when half of her life is off limits. Okay, so this is the bright spot of this conversation. Scheana says to Katie, I think with you in particular, like she thinks that you're unhappy about something in your life and you're projecting that onto her. Scheana goes on to say this is about Katie specifically because she feels like Katie is not pulling her weight with their wine thing. They've got that Witches of WeHo brand of wine, like Potion number 9 or something like that. She said she's got her James May business, which like that t-shirt business. She's working on that. And then she's got to do all the promotion for the wine company. And Katie just kind of sits on her ass and does nothing. Okay, so the funny part is Katie's response is, oh, what? Just because I'm not running a business, I'm not busy? I am busy. I am living my life. Then in her confessional, she goes, I am exploring options, seeing what I love doing. I mean, we get a montage that is so shady. It's her standing like in her house going, just looking around like, and then we see her knitting and we see her laying on the bed with the dog. Then she's like sitting somewhere in her house going, can we just get this over with so I can go back to watching TV? Yeah. After that, it cuts right back to her talking head again. And she goes, yeah, I'm finding new projects all the time. Yeah, no. Katie's pissed, though, of course. And she said, I could just go on Pinterest and take my friend's quotes, slap them on a t-shirt and make some money, too. I mean, she's not wrong. That's basically what James May t-shirts are like. But, hey, you could, but you're not. Kristen did. So she's got that over you. Scheana goes, so like, I can't do that vocal fry. My God, her voice is like she just smoked 3 packs of cigarettes. So full reign to just parlay all this information here to Kristen tonight. Stassi goes, I have no fucks to give. I do not give a fuck. And Katie goes, yeah, put that on our t-shirt. Mean girls. Dayna and Max have a stupid conversation. I don't know. Then Sandaval invites everyone to his birthday party. And the theme this year is extra. Be your extra selves. In Sandaval's confessional, he said, I am always extra, so I'm going to have to be extra, extra. This next scene is at Vanderpump Dogs. Lisa pulls up in front and she's got 2 of her dogs with her and they head in. And then we see the storeroom and Lala picking up like a big case of something. I don't know if it's dog food, if it's wee-wee pads. I don't know what it is. She's picking up this big case. And my husband said to me, Lala works there? I go, don't get yourself all worked up. I had to remind him that she was pretending to volunteer there. You guys remember like episode 2 or 3 when she went to Lisa's house and she's like, yeah, I'll do anything. I'll pick up dog crap, anything you want. I don't believe for 1 second that you could just walk into Vanderpump Dogs and see Lala in the back room. No way. All right, so Lisa and Lala are talking about the wedding, and then Lisa, in one of the best acting jobs of her life, looks at the front door as James and Raquel walk in and goes, oh, what are they doing here? Again, I guess that's just a real coincidence that they're bringing their dog in to get groomed at the exact time that the film crew is there with Lisa and Lala. Lisa tells James she wants to talk to him sometime, and he said, yeah, Lisa, I'd love that. Why would you love that? You know she's going to yell at you. And Raquel and Lala made plans to meet, like at a coffee shop or something. We have a little throwaway scene with the Toms going into a place called Squaresville. I like that name. And it's, I don't know if it's a costume shop or a secondhand shop. I don't know what it is. I think it's like maybe a combination of both. Anyway, they find these pair of pants and Schwartz goes, oh my God, you'd have to be like 9 feet tall to wear them. Sandaval said, I got to tell you a secret. And he's like, what? And he goes, I'm going to wear stilts. And he goes, are you really? And Sandaval said, yeah. Schwartz goes, so you were in the market for stilts pants? And he goes, yeah, I was. I mean, I guess it wasn't just a regular secondhand shop because where can you just find stilts pants? You guys, side note, those stilts that Sandaval is wearing are the kind that like painters use to paint ceilings so that they don't have to get up and down from a ladder. I want them so bad. I mean, I don't necessarily want to own them, but I want to try them out because it's like they have like feet on the end of them. So I feel like it's not like just little tiny pegs, and they're only about like 3 feet maybe. So I think it would be fun, and like I don't think I would fall off and hurt myself. I might, but I still want to try them. All right, now it is time for the little coffee date between Lala and Raquel. I will say this, both of their fashion games are on point. Raquel has an adorable little jumper. Raquel has gorgeous hair, let me just say that. I don't know if it's extensions or not. It kind of doesn't look like extensions, but they all seem to wear them, so it probably is. But it's really pretty, and she has like a ribbon in her hair, and I love the sleeves on this thing she's wearing. She's very pretty. And Lala, well, Raquel tells her she looks like a badass bitch. I think she looks like a badass gypsy. And Lala, of course, is probably the most gorgeous girl on the show. So they get their chai lattes, and Raquel starts off, and I give her credit, but I think she needed to say it right away because I think she was nervous. I know she was nervous. She said, I just want to say that last summer you put down my intelligence, and it's one thing to insult my character, but it's a completely different thing to insult my intelligence. Like, you know, like, what is she trying to say? It's perfectly fine if you attack my character. I'm a horrible person. But don't say I'm not smart. Anyway, she was nervous, and she did get her point across. What she does say is, you know, if you really do think I'm stupid, I have no problem taking my chai latte and leaving. Okay, Lala's response is, my time is very precious to me, and I would not waste it on someone I thought was a true idiot. And Raquel just is like, oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. That's all I needed to hear. Okay, so now that we're past that, we are going to talk about her relationship with James. Lala believes that she can help in this area because she stopped drinking and she knows what she was like when she was drinking and how she hurt the people around her that she cares about. We are going to be cutting back and forth between these girls talking in the coffee shop and James and Lisa. James is on his way to Villa Rosa now. James shows up. There's all this like ominous music. They sit down and they're just kind of staring each other down at first. And then James said, I'm glad I'm here to talk to you, Lisa. And she's just staring at him. And then she goes, for some reason, I feel I have a modicum of responsibility to you, even though you're not my child. But I just saw some horrific texts that you sent. James is basically like, those are just words that come out of my mouth when I'm angry. Okay. Lisa reminds him that Raquel stood by his side through everything, and he said, I know, she still does. He said, I don't talk to her like that when I'm sober. And she goes, well, doesn't that tell you everything? And he said, it does. She tells him, you have to get help. And he said, I did. And then he tells her that he just went to his first AA meeting. Ever. That's a good sign, you guys. I know nobody believes him. I get it. I'm not sure I do either. I told you before that on Watch What Happens Live, he said he was 9 months sober. That could be a lie, I guess. I don't know. I'm rooting for him. Now we cut to Lala and Raquel having coffee. And Raquel tells Lala the same story. Yesterday, I drove him to his first AA meeting, and I sat in the car while he walked inside. I stayed there for an hour. He came out and he showed me his chip. He got his first chip. So Lala is very happy. Back to Lisa and James tells her that he heard some very sad stories when he was in there, and he doesn't want his life to go down that same path. And he's, starts to tear up a little bit. Those two scenes end with Lisa telling James that if he ever feels like he's going to slip up or he needs to talk to someone, that he can call her and she will be there for him. He's really crying now and he thanks her for that. And in the coffee shop, Lala also was tearing up. She said, I know what it felt like to go to my first meeting, and I'm so glad you did that. You were so kind to him to bring him there, and that's great, and I'm happy for you guys. And she said, and I'm happy for us. Raquel said, me too. Okay, now we're back at Jax and Brittany's house, and Kristen comes over because they're going to pick out their outfits for this party for Tom Sandaval. And Jax is like, I don't know what I'm going to wear. I think I'm just going to be a sports guy. Yeah, okay. That's his extra self, I guess. Brittany, of course, is wearing a white silk robe that says, I do. I told you guys, she is going to milk this. Good God, it is not over for us, guys. All right, so Tom and Ariana's house, they're getting ready. Tom is trying out his stilts. They look fun. He is kind of like falling around a little bit. So yeah, maybe I couldn't do it. If I could practice with them at maybe like 1 foot height first and then work my way up, that would be fun. I would even just like to be a foot taller than I am right now. Kristen tells them that Scheana came over the night before and told her everything that Stassi and Katie had said. I guess they're supposed to have another wine come out. I don't know. Kristen is like, I don't even know what's going on with the business. And then Scheana, at least Scheana got permission to tell them everything, but she told them everything. She told them that Katie said, yeah, well, I could just get sayings off of Pinterest and make t-shirts out of them and have my own company too. Kristen said she's just jealous, which, she probably is. I doubt her knitting career is going anywhere. Okay, now we are at Tom Sandaval's party. I don't know where it's at. Anyway, we see Max and Brett show up, and they are both dressed as former costumes of Tom Sandaval. Max is Chip Hartley, kind of looks like a 70s porn guy. He's on roller skates. And Brett is with it almost looks like a Sia wig, but it's blonde. Oh, that character was called Visa Vanderpump. We get to see everybody as they walk in. I don't quite understand James and Raquel or Danica, what their costumes are. I mean, they're fine. I just don't understand in terms of the theme, how they're being their extra selves, but I don't know, maybe. There's such a loose interpretation there. Brittany seems to think that her extra self is a cowgirl. Stassi is Marie Antoinette, which, yeah, I mean, that one kind of makes sense. Beau, he's got like a bad comb over. I'm not sure what's going on there. And then the birthday boy shows up with his dad, helping him, like he's got his hand on his dad's shoulder as he's walking down the street in these stilts. And then it's, okay, Dad, wait, get the door. Okay, Dad, move away. Dad, let go of the door. Move to the side. Stand over there. Oh my God. He's so rude. And then it's like, Dad, get out of the way so that he can make the entrance. Wow. Okay, so new besties, Lala and Raquel, go off to the side to have a little chat. After telling each other how great they look again, Lala asks her, how are things going? Raquel said, really great. He hasn't been drinking. He hasn't had a drink tonight. Lala, okay, that's great because I heard that he went to this party the other day. We see a flashback to James saying he was going to a birthday party. And he's like, okay, I'm going to go. And Raquel's like, all right, don't drink. He said he wouldn't. And Raquel said, yes, James went to that party, but he wasn't drinking. Why? What did you hear? Lala, well, I just heard that everybody got up. She asks, where did you hear that from? Logan told her. At least it was a reliable source. Raquel's like, why is Logan checking in on James? And Lala said, he's not. I told him that I saw you the other day and that James is going to AA. And Logan said, that's crazy because I saw him at a party getting fucked up. Raquel said, I don't understand your friendship with Logan. And Lala said, what are you talking about? He's a good friend. He lied for James a couple years ago about the hooking up stuff. Okay, we get the flashback because this was on camera and I remember it. It's 2017. James is on the phone. This is when the rumor was going around that James had sex with Logan. So now James has him on speakerphone and Brittany's there. I don't remember where they were, their apartment, I guess. And he said, okay, Logan, not only did you say we were hooking up, but you said, welcome to Hollywood. And Logan said, it was all a lie. I was just being a jealous little bitch. James is like, yeah, we can't be friends after this. So Lala seems to be implying that Logan is such a good friend that he made himself look like a liar on camera to protect James. What do you guys think? I believed James. I believed that Logan lied because I think Logan was kind of in love with James. And I think James was nice to him and probably led him on too much and hurt him. And then so Logan retaliated by spreading rumors that they were sleeping together. Let me know in the comments. Oh, I already know what you guys are going to say. James was totally hooking up with him. And maybe he was. I don't know. So anyway, back to the girls. Raquel said, Logan did make that story up. Lala goes, you still believe that? And Raquel said, you don't believe it? And Lala said, I know it's true. I know they hooked up. Well, they had a good run. Lala and Raquel. It was a friendship that may have only lasted as long as Dog Schwartz. Sorry. But, yeah. It appears it is over. Lala tells Raquel, I've been there when there have been deals like, I get a blowjob if you win, or I'll do this. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess either you can say maybe he was just kidding when he said, if you win, I'll give you a blowjob, that kind of thing. Or you, I guess, ask yourself if you believe Lala. I don't know. I guess I am of the belief that if you are lying about your sexuality, there's a reason for it, and I'm sorry for you. And also, other people shouldn't out you. So there's that. Now Sandaval changes into an extra outfit. I'm not sure. Is it Beethoven, maybe? Then Katie and Stassi are chatting. Katie says she wants to have a girls' night, like a wine night maybe. Let's invite Brittany and Lala and Ariana. And Stassi said, no, Kristen? And Katie goes, no, that wouldn't make sense. And Stassi said, that's fine if you're okay getting in hot water with Kristen. I'm okay with it. And then Kristen walks up. So Kristen comes up, and I guess she's a witch. I don't know, but she said, everyone's saying, oh, I get it, you're the witches of WeHo. And she's like, whatever, I'll take it. But that being said, I do want to know if you guys are still interested in the business at all. And Katie goes, yeah, I'm obviously still in it. Stassi said, I'm still in it as long as our contract, and then I'm out. She said she's willing to do 100% of what she needs to for the business, but her heart's not in it anymore. Kristen says she feels disconnected, and Stassi's like, you feel disconnected? No shit. I think it's weird that you even say you feel disconnected. Kristen goes, I think it's weird I have to say that too. Stassi said, I feel like there's always a difference of opinion with the wine between you and me. And I guess if I'm selfish, then that's fine. I'm selfish, but that's why I don't want to be in business with anybody else. Then we check in with James and Raquel. And Raquel relays her whole conversation with Lala. And he's like, Logan. And then in his confessional, he goes, Logan is not going to be the reason I drink again. It's going to have to be something much worse than that. You know, it would have to be like, well, you know, well, nothing can make me drink again. That wasn't the most promising thing he could have said, but like he got there in the end, but I don't know. It's still dicey with James. Anyway, those two decide to leave early. Back to the Witches of WeHo. Katie goes off on Kristen because Kristen said, oh, and you're attacking my clothing line. And she goes, yes, because you said that I'm projecting onto you that I'm unhappy. Kristen goes, just admit it, Katie. And she goes, I'm not going to admit that. You are the most miserable person I have ever known. Kristen feels ganged up on. She goes, you know, we're friends, sisters. We're supposed to be sisters. And Stassi's like, we're not sisters. We have not been sisters for a long time. I don't know you anymore. And Kristen just looks really sad. She doesn't say anything, and she walks away. I know Kristen's a handful, guys, but I feel like she got ganged up on, and I don't like it. I mean, maybe being kind to her and saying things in a nice way is just not getting through to her, and so now they just have to be mean. I don't like it. Kristen actually leaves the party, and that is where this episode ends. Yeah, kind of sad. Anyway, please subscribe if you haven't already. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and please leave a comment below. I read all your comments. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so before I go, I did want to just say a few things about, you know, what we're all dealing with in the world right now. This time I wanted to give a special shout out to those of you who are working in some of the essential businesses right now, banks, grocery stores, pharmacies. We appreciate you so much. We need you right now. We need you to keep the grocery stores open, to keep the gas stations open. We need you. You are very, very important to us. And you putting yourself out in the public, continuing to go to work every day so that the shelves can be stocked, I really appreciate you. I would also like to say, for those of you who are staying at home, who may have lost your jobs, I'm sorry. This is scary for all of us, but when you are trying to figure out how to feed your family and pay your bills, it's an extra stress you do not need. Listen, this is not perfect, but there are businesses that are hiring right now. Trader Joe's, Amazon, Walmart, CVS, all of those essential businesses that are staying open, they are hiring immediately. Check your local grocery stores. Where I live, Jewel Osco stores are hiring immediately. I even got an email from Jewel saying that they're hiring right now. Please come in. Like I said, it might not be ideal, but there are some work opportunities out there for those of you who have lost your jobs. Also, in the same vein of finding some positivity in all this, there are companies and factories who are pivoting to do other things to help out. I know of like distilleries who are making hand sanitizer, that kind of thing. There are manufacturers who are now making masks and PPE, protection equipment for doctors, nurses, healthcare workers. There are good people out there who are trying to make a difference. If any of you guys, while you're sitting at home, are wondering if you can make a difference, the answer is yes, we all can. The most important thing you are doing is staying home as much as possible. That is the most important thing you can do right now. When you do have to go out, stay 6 feet away from others. If there's something more you would like to do, I could suggest donating. Bethany Frankel's charity, Be Strong, is doing amazing things. They are trying to secure masks and PPE for hospitals around the world. They're gathering these things from wherever they can, manufacturers and wherever, and they're getting them to the hospitals that are desperately in need of them. Another thing on a smaller scale that my husband and I are trying to do is to take advantage of the curbside service that our restaurants are providing. I don't mean the fast food restaurants. I think they're probably doing okay right now because their drive-thrus can stay open and they're probably doing a pretty good business. I'm talking about the restaurants that are primarily dining room patrons only. Because of the situation, they're providing curbside pickup or delivery as a way to try and stay open. My husband and I are trying to utilize those restaurants at least once a week. Another thing that my daughter said, they were doing this in New York, and I love the idea. I am actually going to talk to my hairstylist about this. If you get your hair done regularly by someone, or maybe you have a nail technician that you regularly go to, now might be a good time to reach out to them and ask them if they would like you to prepay for some services in the future. It's not a perfect solution. They are losing income. They've lost their jobs, and many, I know this because I used to do hair, many of them are paying for their own health insurance, and it's particularly hard for them right now. They rely on tips, they rely on their income. Having to be closed right now is tough. So prepaying for a few services right now might just get them through this time period when they have to be closed. It could be, like a gift card situation, only you can specify the stylist or the technician so that it not only benefits the salon, but it would benefit that person individually. And if those ideas are not something that you can do or afford to do, the final thing I would just say, in addition to the most important thing, stay home and stay 6 feet apart, would be to just be gentle with each other. We're all stressed out. We're all on edge. We're all anxious. Just try and take a deep breath and be understanding that everyone kind of feels the same way we do. Just to everyone, hang in there. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.